Anambra State government has washed its hands off the case of the newly elected chairman of Ogbaru local government area, Franklin Nwadialo, arrested in Texas, United States, for allegedly running a $3.3 million romance scam. The state government said it cannot speak for him as he is not a government appointee. The government yesterday declared that it is left to the people who elected him to answer for him, adding that the development is part of the local government autonomy. The Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Dr. Law Mefo, disclosed this while speaking with the press on the arrest of the embattled local government chair. Mefo said Nwadialo is not answerable to the governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, in any form or manner because he was elected by his people and not the government. In his words, he was chosen by his people and the political party he belongs to. He is not an appointee of Soludo, therefore I cannot speak for his conduct. Those who elected him should answer such questions, whether the offense is true or not, because I only speak for the state government and not local government Autonomy has now come. Nwadialo was reportedly arrested in Texas, United States, for allegedly running a $3.3 million romance scam. The U.S. Department of Justice confirmed his arrest in a statement. It noted that Nwadialo is facing a 14-count charge and risks a 20-year sentence if found guilty. The Federal Bureau of Investigation had arrested the 40-year-old local government chairman on arrival in Texas. He has been transferred to the Western District of Washington for arraignment. According to the indictment, Nwadialo used various versions of the name Giovanni when he met his victims online on websites such as Match, Zusk, and Christian Cafe, the statement reads. Nwadialo allegedly used false images for his profile and typically told the victims that he was in the military and deployed overseas so he could not meet the victims in person. Using these personas, Nwadialo allegedly invented many reasons he needed the victims to send him money. In one such case, in 2020, he indicated he had been fined by the military for revealing his location to the victim. He asked the victim to help him pay the sum of $150,000 fine. In all, that victim was defrauded of at least $2.4 million. The U.S. Department of Justice cited another instance where the accused contacted a second victim in 2019 to help move funds from U.S. accounts to accounts controlled by him and his co-schemers. In this instance, Nwadialo represented that he needed the help moving money in connection with his father's death. The victim transferred at least $330,000 to the accounts controlled by the defendant, the department said. The third victim was defrauded by Nwadialo when he told her he was investing money for her. He claimed that a check she received from another victim was proceeds from her investments, and he had her reinvest the money in a specific cryptocurrency account that he controlled. The victim transferred at least $270,000 at Nwadialo's direction. Finally, in August 2020, Nwadialo defrauded another victim who he met online on an online dating site and caused this victim to transfer at least $310,000 by claiming he needed financial assistance, including help paying for his father's funeral or his son's school tuition. What do you make of this development?
I really want to thank you for your art of craft, because it is not easy to run through the length of this kind of story. That is apt of you. It is very apt, and it is the Nigerian people call it grace that can only be from the divine. So as you were going through it, I was taking the breath for you. It is something that it is a shame. This is a show of shame. But I want to thank also the U.S. for being so comprehensive in the analysis and in documentation. That's what we talk about database. This whatever you have seen here is like the documentation of God, which they ask us to create in our mind, how God takes a record of our sins. So this shows you that if the human can monitor somebody and be able to, despite the whole names, the whole differences in names, they were able to trace it to one individual. It will show you that if the little brain of human that developed those technologies, I wouldn't have any doubt that God will have a more record than the US. So, and it is also a shame that people will go into fraud thinking they have let loose. I don't know whether Ogbaru suddenly developed a partial amnesia to think that he seems he will not find him out. Maybe because whether he... Nwadialo, yes. Nwadialo, the chairman, the chairman-elect in... or the substantive chairman of a local government in Ogbaru local government in Anambra State. You know, this quest for power and intimidation, and have arrived, and nobody, I'm above the law, like the House of a representative member that assaulted the driver was saying that I will deal with you, nothing will happen. Even mentioning the name of the IGP, telling you that when people acquire power, they tend to ridicule the rest of humanity. They tend to become the law themselves. But in those, in those same climes, it does not happen. The laws are allowed to take their effect. I hope Ogbaru is listening to what is happening. So
what has Ogbaru got to do with
that is why that's why I asked him before he meddled into the affairs of River State, he should have taken time to know what brought the issue to where he just jumped in. Because from what you have, from the statement you have seen, there is a blow-to-blow account of what this man has done. So what is happening in River State about maybe the workers' salary may be monumentarily in shortcoming is because there also has been a progression. That is why I mentioned Ogbaru. So in this case now, you find out that the real records has been taken, and those records are in tandem with the crimes this particular Nwadialo has committed. And again, you tie it down to the litigation that has incarcerated the former Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu. If it were to be in Nigeria, Nwadialo would have not been arrested as a chairman of a local government because he had the wherewithal, he had the clout.
But he doesn't have immunity. And
he doesn't have immunity. Maybe he thought in his mind that having been elected the chairman of a local government in Nigeria will now be a trampoline or an envelope to envelope his crimes. His sins have been washed away, and in his mind he was forming a boss of somebody that your position you have acquired will be able to whittle down the weight of the crime you have committed. He did not ask himself, what is the fate of Ike Ekweremadu of today? So let it be a pointer to Nigerians and to those who go into crime that one day you have your day with the law courts, and the crime you commit will find you out. And again, Laurentia, this goes to show that the case that Atiku Abubakar pursued against Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when the Supreme Court judgment of the outcome of the election was going about the certificate saga, might not be far from the truth. If these people have a documentation of this less a personality, just an online dating, then you're talking about a crime that was committed in that particular soil. And the person, if they can tie with the names we had here and different accounts, if they can tie it to one person, there is also a sense that that particular allegedly forgery incident could be tied to the person of the President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, because that is why the Department of that secretariat in the USA have not been able to release that particular white paper. Because you cannot tell me that they were able to do a kangaroo investigation and tie it, and they were mentioning the person of Abel with the passport and everything on it. So, but maybe the clout, and he's also been politically exposed in the international community, must have helped in, keeping his sin secret, which this particular person did not have. I'm making a sense. So, this is what you will hear. Then I want to quickly give you an analogy with myself of what I see in conclusion, just in 1 minute. When I was in Malaysia studying information technology at Lincoln Wayne University, Lincoln Wayne University of Technology in Malaysia, where I met some of our brothers who are into this internet romance and all that. What has found Nwadialo out is because any fraud of this nature it has a chain community. The people that will do what they ought to do. Even sometimes another person will make the call, somebody who has the rhetorics and the intonation to convince their so-called victim. Sometimes documents are prepared. I'm talking about what I know. Do you know why I did not even help any of them? Because most of them are secondary school and primary school dropouts. So when such a cases come, they'll be looking for us in the university for we to help them in making those contacts. So that when the person hears our voice, he thinks he's talking to a very robust and intelligent personality. So, Laurentia, what happens is this. When they came to me, Ifeanyi Uchukwu Gochukwu, when they came to me, I refused. Because the people that will fish you out are those people who did not succeed in that particular venture. When you are succeeding, remember that the Igbo people say that you're being crowned a prince. Somebody is already envious of you. When you succeed, because you that has the business have the larger chunk amount of the money, and those other people might have not been as successful as you are in the same venture, they will be the people to point at you tomorrow.
Whistleblowing.
Yes, whistleblowing. And even
Nwadialo, somebody.
I'm coming. I've not even finished. You will see where where his problem is coming from.
Okay.
When you have risen to a particular status in the society, or you have gotten substantial amount of money and you want to go home and contest for a chieftaincy title or being a royal father of your house, of your community, it is still the same people that you were in the same line of business with that didn't that will come and accuse you and bring out factual evidence against you. That he's a thief, he's a fraudster, he has even married an Oyibo woman. And the people in the village and your community, they know that you married an Oyibo woman and you have children in overseas. It is also the same people that are there that will give out the information that will nail your coffin. That is what I'm seeing that Obialo, he says Obialo and Nwadialo has suffered. He has risen to this stadium in his political career. Whom do you think that are those that push him down? It is a food for thought for people who are going into crime, and when you're making litany of friends and think that all of them love you, all of them, they are calling you a boy. They are not calling you a boy because they love you. They are also the people that will pull you down tomorrow. And that is the story of Ekweremadu. That is the story of Abed Bola Tinubu. That is the story of Nwadialo. Laurentia.
All right.